Hey, my name is John Smith of Prevost Law Firm. Today I'm here with our client, Kelly West. We just finished wrapping up Kelly's case, and he's been gracious enough to spend a few minutes talking about it, which we really appreciate. So, Kelly, first start by telling us a little history into the nightmare that Encore left you in.
So basically, every promise under the world, or under the sun, I should say, and ultimately, after like 5 months, Encore just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. I had panels on my roof, no working system, and a lender messaging and calling me wanting payments when the contract didn't seem fulfilled, in my opinion. So, I was promised things like a battery wall, never got that. A working system, never got that. Like a 10-year, I think, warranty. And since the company that did everything disappeared, obviously I didn't get that either. So, yeah. About the only thing that they did right was I don't have a leak from when they put the stuff in my roof, basically. So, just then I ended up I think I was doing research on stuff with solar stuff, and I stumbled across some, like, a forum, I think, that led me to the Prevost law firm. So once I got that going and I got in touch with them, that started the ball rolling on my getting everything handled appropriately, which ultimately was for the best. But mine was a pretty cut and dry case, apparently, because all the failed promises, which are actually contractual obligations, I should say. And since there's, when they don't fulfill the contract, a contract can be voided, essentially, which is, I guess, what happened. It did take a while because basically my lender was dragging their feet on everything. So when they drag their feet, they can drag out the process. And that's when you really want a good firm behind your back, because otherwise, if you don't have a good firm that can, handle dealing with that, you're going to wind up footing the bill for all that and ultimately giving up and just paying for a non-working system. So I think ultimately hiring the Prevost law firm was probably the best decision.
You mentioned something. It took forever to get your lender to pay. Like, we actually went to getting close to arbitration, and then we actually won part of that, and then we got into some weird settlement thing. And so, yeah, it took forever on yours. So now that it's also, we sued your lender, we got a settlement agreement. We can't talk about the lender's name or mention any terms, but how happy are you with the overall end result here?
I think it's good. I like it.
So I want to go back to, so you were one of our very first clients, hired us almost 2 years ago. And so it has been an ordeal for you especially, but was it worth the wait?
Yeah. That's
awesome.
Best case scenario.
That's awesome. And you kind of answered this already, but I want to ask you again. What would you say to somebody who's thinking about hiring Prevost law firm to help with their solar panel case?
Unless if you are like in love with your solar panel and like paying for the energy, which ultimately, when the way that they work those contracts, in my opinion, after rereading it multiple times and stuff, is it's set up for them to win, not for you to win ever. So, like, yeah, you get a slight reduction in your energy bill, but unless if you pay an exorbitant amount of money to these people, you're gonna basically be in debt forever. Because like, by the time that you pay the panels off, the way that it goes, you're actually in need for new panels basically at that point anyways. So, because they only last 10 to 25 years depending on the panels that they are, and the way that the interest rate and everything works out, they had me for like a 10-year loan. So I might have gotten 10 years of reduced power usage without having to pay extra. But out of that 10 years, panels also start to degrade after the first like 8 years or something like that. So like, and they're getting better panels, but panels are just ultimately not the best route right now, I don't think, for anybody. But once they're already on, there's nothing you can do. Once you sign the contract, there's nothing you can do. You signed a contract, it's legal. So your best case is to get a lawyer involved, and hopefully they had a breach of their side of the contract that makes it so that you can get out of said contract, because otherwise you're just stuck. So it's an unfortunate fact, and I think another thing that helped with mine was I never started making the payments that they wanted. So I never paid a dime because it wouldn't, like, I argued with them. Like, first and foremost, once I started getting the bills, I was like, this stuff doesn't even work. Why am I making payments? And I had emails back and forth with them where they actually stated that, like, because I never received an official copy of my contract at first. But they looked it up and were like, yeah, you definitely were supposed to have a battery wall. You don't have that? No. I had to do a couple pictures for them. They didn't charge. They just stopped making payments or charging payments and stuff. So that way that helped me. Plus they had I kept my emails, like, because I was like nervous about the stuff to begin with, like, not to begin with. And but after the fact, like, once I start, and I was just glad I kept my emails, because that email where they stated that my battery pack was supposed to be part of my contract probably helped shore up my case specifically. That and the warranty stuff, when the company can't provide a warranty because they don't exist anymore, probably didn't hurt the case either.
No, it didn't. But the fact that you just got dark glass put on your roof and no battery delivered, the arbitrator was swayed by that alone. So I think that was the nail in the coffin for the lender.
And the lender gave me an email that said that it was literally a part of the contract.
Yeah,
for me to have the battery pack.
They even admitted it too. And the fact they were so stubborn about it is just mind-boggling. But they were. But here we are, and we got you a great result. So
yes. And so ultimately, I would tell people, reach out. I believe my initial consultation was free. So definitely reach out if you have it, because it can't hurt to ask the questions. Yeah. But it definitely can hurt your financial situation if you don't.
Yeah. Amen to that. Amen to that. Well, Kelly, you have been amazing. I really appreciate the time that you spent with us talking about your situation. It's going to help other people. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, my friend.
Yep. Thank you.